Hello and welcome. If you are joining us here live or at a later time, we are so happy to have you here. We have an incredible program for you today. You have tuned into the HerStory Award for November 2024. This is a one-of-its-kind national program, or I guess award ceremony that honors and celebrates, recognizes incredible women who are changing their community through their work of service, through their work of sacrifice, and leading the way in really being role models of what we like to call at Women's Federation for World Peace, feminine leadership and soft power. My name is Adia Lancaster, and I will be the MC for this program today. And I am so excited because we have 4 incredible women that we will be honoring tonight. And I can't wait for you to meet them. But before we introduce you to these incredible women, I would first like to bring up our Vice President for Women's Federation for World Peace USA, Katerina Connery, who will give you some more insight on Women's Federation for World Peace and the Global Women Peace Network. So please welcome Katerina Connery.
Okay, thank you, Adia, and hello everyone who is joining us today. My name is Katerina Connery, as Adia mentioned. Actually, I am honored to be here together with all of you and with our amazing awardees. Actually, our president, Kayleigh Moffitt, sends her regards and her regrets. She's currently traveling. She might be on a flight right now. She was in Chicago and Arizona this during the past few days. So yeah, she usually does this part, but I'm here filling in. And I just wanted to start by sharing a quote from our founder, Dr. Hak Ja Han Moon, also known as Mother Moon. She said, "I launched the Women's Federation for World Peace as a movement to awaken women to their true value." And really, this is kind of one of the core tenets, peace philosophies of our organization, that we want to awaken women to our true values so that we can go out into the world, into our relationships, and even into our families and our communities, into wherever we're working, to make positive change. So we work in 3 core areas. We work on the ground and in the grassroots areas, creating communities for women to connect with like-minded women, to feel empowered and supported in their journey, whatever life phase they're in. We work in the area of leadership. That's the Global Women's Peace Network and programs like this one, the HerStory Awards. And we also work in the area of peace building. That's projects like our Bridge of Peace initiative and humanitarian projects around the world. And especially in the area of Global Women's Peace Network, we strive to connect with other women leaders who are doing amazing things already, who are empowering others, men and women, to make a positive change for peace, because we can do so much more if we work together. So for anyone who is tuning in here to honor these amazing women peace makers, peace builders, who are going to be receiving this award today, I hope you will continue to tune in and work together with us so that we can continue to uplift and embrace the people around us. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to our main program, and you're going to hear some amazing and wonderful stories from these women.
Thank you, Katarina. Beautiful introduction to Women's Federation for World Peace. And let's go ahead and get started with introducing our first nominee. Her name is Tremaine Abena Moore. Abena is the founder of Naturally Geechee Holistic Skin and Hair Care, a brand deeply rooted in the Gula Geechee tradition. Inspired by her personal journey with Klippel-Trenaunay-Weber syndrome, a rare lymphatic condition, she has dedicated the past 8 years to creating an all-natural, vegan, and healing skin and hair care line. Born on rural Johns Island, South Carolina, Abena's condition initially made her shy and self-conscious. However, her commitment to holistic healing and spiritual beliefs led her to embrace natural products, transforming both her health and her self-confidence. Today, Naturally Geechee offers a range of natural shampoos, moisturizers, lip balms, oils, and scrubs available at select locations in Savannah, including the Savannah Historic Museum, Pinpoint Museum, Body Bronzing by Becca, and the International African American Museum. Drawing on her studies in chemistry and her Gullah Geechee heritage, Abena hopes her products and personal journey will inspire others to embrace natural healing and honor their bodies as sacred temples. Before I bring up Abena onto this virtual stage, I first want to introduce her nominator, Cynthia Myers, just to give us a little personal note about how they met and why she decided to nominate Abena for this award. Cynthia, please come up on stage.
Thank you, Adia. That was beautiful. Very well done. Abena and I first exchanged emails regarding an order from her company, Naturally Geechee. And the emails became longer and warmer as we began to communicate beyond her fine products, and a relationship began. I learned about the Gullah Geechee community and culture and their contributions to the community. Abena, born in the lineage of freeman forefathers, honors and embraces her ancestors and the lives they made, using what Mother Nature gave them to live. She makes healing products that are culturally inspired. She believes that the sharing of her culture through product making keeps her culture alive. She pays homage to those who came before her. She's passionate about cultural preservation, as well as sharing, celebrating, and honoring the Gullah Geechee culture through shared cultural experiences, perspectives, and practices. So those are honorable values which guide this young woman's life. However, when I first met Abena, I saw the life spark in her eyes, which revealed her deep heart and caring nature, the energy and driving force of this beautiful woman, and her determination to pursue her goals and purpose in life. For me, Tremaine Abena Moore is a precious younger sister that I have had the privilege to know on her journey. And as an older sibling, I say, nice work, Abena, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry, everyone. Oh, my camera's working, guys. My camera wasn't working before, but I'm so thankful for the warm introduction. So hello, everyone. I am Abena, and I'm truly honored to receive this HerStory Award. My journey to this moment has been one of resilience, healing, and a deep connection to my roots, and I am grateful to share it with you today. So I started making all natural products over 8 years ago as a part of a personal journey toward healing. So I was dealing with a real lymphatic condition, so something I had since birth. So after enduring the effects of this condition for many years, I decided to change my diet and lifestyle in hopes of finding some relief and balance. This dietary shift inspired me to look at other aspects of my self care. And that's when I realized the potential for healing within natural ingredients. I started creating products that I could trust, made with pure, chemical free ingredients that not only nourished my body, but helped me feel empowered in my own healing. This journey wasn't always easy. My father, who was a farmer, taught me early on about the power of fresh, natural ingredients, and his influence shaped much of what I do today. After his passing, along with the loss of a dear friend, I faced a period of struggle. Grieving for them made it hard to find focus and time, and I felt lost. My passion dimmed as I navigated those difficult times, but I never completely let go. Their memory and the strength they embodied became a guiding light, reminding me why I began this journey in the first place. As I worked through my grief, I rediscovered the importance of what I was doing, not only for myself, but for others. So slowly, I found my way back to Naturally Geechee with a renewed dedication to share the products that had given me strength and healing. I knew that these natural remedies could help me. If it could help me, then it could help others. So I picked up where I left off and with an even greater sense of purpose. So today, Naturally Geechee is more about just skincare products. It's about cultural preservation. And it's a reminder that healing is possible, that nature provides us with the tools we need to thrive, and that our stories have power. For everyone who feels like giving up, remember that challenges are part of the journey. So sometimes it's in those hardest moments that we find our strength. So I stand here as a reminder that even through loss and hardships, we can rise, we can rebuild, and we can succeed. Um, Thank you so much for the recognition and honoring my journey with this HerStory Award. I hope Naturally Geechee can be a source of healing for all who need it, just as it has been for me. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Abina. I'm sorry if I pronounced it incorrectly. Um, it's my privilege to present to you virtually this HerStory Award. Oh, I think your video froze again. But I will read the inscription. This HerStory Award is proudly presented to Tremaine Abina Moore on this day, November 9th, 2024, in recognition of your exceptional dedication to holistic healing, cultural preservation, and natural innovation. Your resilience and authenticity shine through in your efforts to empower others, to embrace natural wellness and the heritage of the Gullah Geechee people. We honor you as a peace leader who lives by the logic of love. Signed by Kayleigh Moffitt, the president of Women's Fed USA, and myself. So if you're watching at home, please give our HerStory Award Abina a warm round of applause, or if you can post it in the chat in Facebook. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, great. I can still hear you. Wonderful. Oh, there you are. You're back. Congratulations. That's an amazing, wonderful story. And thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Avena. Hopefully you can expand and bring your products nationally and people can order that online. We know that you're doing great work locally in Savannah, and so we wish you so many great blessings with the work you are doing to preserve your heritage, which is so important, and such a beautiful legacy. That's the word. All right, let's get on with our second nominee for this program. And I'd like to introduce you to Doris Etheridge Edwards. Doris Etheridge Edwards was born in Cleveland, Ohio, and has devoted her life to service and sacrifice. As the daughter of a World War II Army veteran, wife of a Vietnam War veteran, and mother of a 21-year Air Force veteran, she deeply understands the commitment military families make to protect the nation. A proud mother of 4 and grandmother of 4, Doris built a successful career as an early childhood educator, military child care consultant, program specialist for the Hawaii Office of Community Services, and government program evaluator. After retirement, Doris channeled her passion into serving veterans, bringing comfort and aloha to 210 veterans in 14 nursing homes across Hawaii. She has held leadership roles as president of the Leeward Pilot Club, AmVets Ladies Auxiliary, and governor-elect of the COED District for Pilots International. She also volunteered with Red Cross, Hawaiian Food Bank, and USO. Doris remains a shining example of dedication and compassion. Through her tireless service, she has made an enduring impact on countless lives. Now, before I bring up Doris to this virtual stage, and they have a wonderful watch party going on right now, so we're going to see that when she comes up, I first want to introduce you to her nominator, Donna Shaver. So please, Donna, please come up and tell us a little bit about Doris.
Hello, everybody. My name is Donna Shaver, and I wasn't the only one nominating Doris for this award. It was also Mrs. Yuriko Harding over there. So Yuriko had first met Doris last year, and they started the Ladies Auxiliary, I think back in October, with only 6 members, 6 members. And to this day, we have over 60 members. Doris is an amazing woman leader, so inspiring, a generous heart. She has touched our hearts by reaching out and reaching out and inspiring us to jump on board and help with the various projects that we did. Veterans card makings, the Christmas stockings, and also visiting the veterans in their homes, in the foster homes, and seeing the joy of, there are some veterans that don't have family or friends, and so when we go there, the joy that she brings to their hearts, it's very touching. So I want to read one Mother Moon's philosophy. If you pursue only personal gain, chains of addiction and greed will tie you down. If you constantly put others first and live for their sake, you are on the path to eternal freedom and blessing. When I see people in need, I give them whatever I have. A world where everyone gives their best best things to others is a world of joy. This is my philosophy. People who live only for themselves will soon hit a wall. You need to live your life with love and generosity. And when I read this quote, it was Doris. Doris lives her life. She inspires and she aspires to inspire people to help others who are less fortunate. She finds this so exciting that everyone that she meets just wants to jump on board and say, yes, I want to join. Communicator, networker, and connecting people and inspiring them to join her cause. She's a wonderful woman, and we all here want to sincerely congratulate her on receiving this HerStory Award. Congratulations.
You have to talk to her so the camera goes on. Okay. Can you see me?
No, it's
Talk loud. Can you see me?
yes.
No. Okay. Oh, okay. Hello, everyone.
Talk this way. Make it loud. Talk this way.
Hello, everyone. I'm Doris Edwards, and I am the connector. My story started a long, long time ago in a family with a grandmother who lived with her 5 children and their children. And I had my grandmother had 15 granddaughters. And I understood what it meant to be one woman making a difference. No matter how many people in our house, my grandmother always invited somebody else to share the food with us. And my sister would say, why does grandma always tell people to come over? We don't hardly have enough for our own family. But I learned that what she said was, it's better to give than receive. And the best gift you can ever give to anyone is to give them something that especially surprised them, something that they didn't expect. So my life, from the time I was a small girl until right now, when I'm an older woman, it has been about finding a need and filling it. I have my dad's philosophy, and that's never meet a stranger. Everybody that I meet, I embrace them, I give them the love, and I think they feel my love, and they understand that helping people who are less fortunate or people who don't really have the same things going on as you have going on is so wonderful. And it's like contagious. It's like you get the measles and then you give it to somebody else. My husband of 30 years was a wonderful man, and 8 years ago he had a major stroke. And I took care of him for 3 years. He was in a wheelchair. I took him to the doctor. He was my life. We've been married 30 years. And when he had a second stroke and he became paralyzed and went to Tripler Hospital, and the doctor said he can't come home, I was devastated because he was my life. And I would go to the nursing home and I would be up there every day until the social worker said to me, you need to get a job. I mean, we're taking care of him. We've got this. And I said, no, I can't leave him. So I started looking around, and for his birthday, I would bring him a cupcake with a lei and a balloon, and other people were looking. And I noticed that his roommate had a birthday, but he didn't have any family. And I noticed that the other battle buddies didn't have anybody bringing them birthdays. So I was in a ladies group, and I said, I think this is a good project. Why don't we do a Christmas project and take gifts to the veterans that are in the nursing homes? And the ladies said, oh, that's a great idea. And then the social worker contacted me and said, well, there's another social worker that has veterans that are in other nursing homes, and they want to know, will your ladies give them gifts? And so we got it started. One year we did each veteran, 210 veterans got one Christmas card. The next year we got the Girl Scouts involved and the guys got 2 Christmas cards apiece. Last year we got 800 Christmas cards from Girl Scouts, from the Malulani wrestling team, from Leeward Pilot Club, from the Ladies Auxiliary. It was incredible. And we did Christmas stockings, and then we ended up giving them a wish list and saying, what would you like if you had anything, if you could choose anything, what would you like? And one guy said, I want a DVD player because I don't want to go out and watch movies with the other guys. And we put that on the list. And another guy said, my Android phone charger broke and I can't get out of the nursing home. And we put that on the list. And somebody else said, I need a headphones because my headphones broke. So we had a list of items and we put them on a flyer and we put our picture on the front and said, we want to help veterans living in nursing homes. And guess what? Next thing we knew, I'm coming in my door and I get packages. People are just leaving me body wash and deodorant and socks. And we had so much stuff that we put in their stockings last year. And then they started calling me saying, are we going to do this year? So when I was asked in June to start the Ladies Auxiliary, I had already been doing this for 3 years. So it was so natural for me to go out and just tell people what I'm doing. Because as soon as I tell somebody, the first thing they say is, how can I help? And this is my story. And I want everyone to know that I am so proud and so excited and really so happy to be honored by Eureka, because she's been my biggest supporter, and by Donna Shavers. And just recently, my dear husband passed away 2 months ago. And if I didn't have a Ladies Auxiliary and my family in support here in Hawaii, I think I would have melted away. But they would not let me melt away. They kept calling me and they kept coming and they kept lifting me. And here I am. My passion is working for veterans that are living in nursing homes, that have no families, that are forgotten, because they fought for our freedom. And I really, really feel passionate about bringing them aloha and happiness. So thank you so much for this honor. And I am just incredibly, incredibly grateful. He's frozen. Okay.
We're still here. There's some of it.
Yeah.
Doris, we're having some technical difficulties on Katarina's end, but I just wanted to again honor you. Thank you so much for taking care of those who have taken care of our nation. And you're bringing so much joy and so much love to their hearts. So we want to virtually award you with this HerStory Award, which you will get physically. You will have a physical one mailed to you. So I want to go ahead and present this to you. The HerStory Award is proudly presented to Doris Etheridge Edwards on this day, November 9th, 2024, in recognition of your profound dedication and unwavering service to military families and veterans. Your tireless efforts to support and uplift veterans, along with your commitment to enhancing their well-being, exemplify your compassion of and selfless service. We honor you as a peace leader who lives by the logic of love. Signed by our president, Kayleigh Moffitt, and our vice president, Katerina Connery. Congratulations once again. It is so well deserved, even though we know that you don't do this for the accolades and for the glory, but you are changing lives all around you. You are aspiring people and inspiring them to just give back. Congratulations. Wow, beautiful. I love this watch party that you have too. That's so amazing. I wish I was there. Thank you for all that you do. We can't wait to hear how much it's grown. And yeah, in just a short time, you've impacted so many lives. So incredible. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on to our third nominee for this evening. It is Miss Colleen Washington. She is a prominent advocate in the fight against human sex trafficking, leveraging her own experiences as a survivor to fuel her mission. Known for her powerful public speaking, she has brought awareness and mobilized support across law enforcement, industries, churches, and academic institutions. Through engagements with groups like Shared Hope International, the University of San Diego, and the Rock Church, Keelan has inspired many to join the cause and make a stand against trafficking. Beyond her live speaking engagements, Keelan has reached wider audiences by sharing her story and expertise in impactful media projects. She has been featured in documentaries such as It's Happening Right Here and The War on Children, and she regularly contributes to the Washington Times podcast. Her journey from survivor to advocate has made her a powerful force, shaping conversations and actions around this critical issue. She also recently got promoted to assistant program director at Generate Hope. Oh my goodness, Keelan, this speaks to my heart because I also have been educating on the prevention of human trafficking. So this is right up my alley. I can't wait to have you come up and share your story. But before we introduce her, I want to bring up Carolyn Betancourt, who has nominated this wonderful woman for this award. Carolyn.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Adia. Yeah, so this is really very exciting for me because just because of who Keelan is and also the difficult kind of area that she's working in. So I met Keelan several years ago, actually, at a Seroptimist event where women who have overcome great odds to better their lives were awarded scholarships to further their education. And in chatting with her at that time, I learned a little of her story and how she had told her story to the Washington Times podcast. That really got my attention. So since that time, she has participated in several WFWP events here in San Diego, explaining her background and answering questions on the reality of human trafficking, which is a really sad story, but that's what she's been able to educate people on. Now, and I've always admired throughout every time I meet her, I'm just so admiring of her courage, her graciousness, and her intelligence and love of God as she displays as she furthers her studies. She's in school and she switched from social work to a not-for-profit organization degree so that she could further her work with this organization, Generate Hope. And where she assists the survivors to transition to a fully functioning member of society. So she is on her way to becoming director. She might tell a little bit of her story herself, but she is on her way. She's moving forward. She has a daughter that she's taking care of at the same time. And I'm just so deeply grateful for her friendship and know that you'll be as moved by Keelan's story as I've been. Thank you, Keelan. Thank you so much.
Hi, can you guys hear me? Perfect. I'm just so honored and excited to be here today, even just to be nominated for this award. It just means so much and it's so close to my heart. Before I even got into the anti-human trafficking movement and before I experienced it myself, I, like most people, didn't understand the harsh realities of what trafficking actually was. Before I was trafficked, we used to label it as prostitution, which would oftentimes implicate a choice that these young women and children who are standing on their corner are choosing the life and choosing to be in these conditions. And so this is all I've ever known. This is all society has told me. This is all that law enforcement and the law surrounding trafficking and prostitution look like, was implicating choice. And so when I was introduced to the life of human trafficking, I only learned about that when I was actively being trafficked myself at the age of 14. And a part of us not being aware of what it looked like, I think, is the one thing that helped my perpetrator groom me for the life of exploitation. And so in this idea of what trafficking actually is, what I learned is that these women and these children actually don't have a choice. In my own story of being 14 and being sold in California, that wasn't an option. That wasn't a choice that I wanted for my life. But it was forced on me. I didn't have a way to get out of my trafficking because my trafficker wouldn't let me out. And little did I know when I was 14 and I met my trafficker, did I know how bad the trafficking would actually get. A lot of times we think that it's this person who's thrown into the back of the van and they're kidnapped, and that's how trafficking happens. But that's not how most trafficking happens with victims. They're groomed into the life, they're boyfriended in. They're actually oftentimes trafficked by somebody that they love and trust. And my trafficker was an older boyfriend that I had. And so when I tried to leave and get out of the life of exploitation, he became extremely abusive, took me out of the state of California and sold me in over 12 states over a 3.5-year period. And a part of this was, one thing that I struggled with majorly through this process was I was born and raised in the church. And so I used to think that these types of things didn't happen to people like me. And I remember holding on to this faith that something would happen. Somebody would come rescue me early on. And it wasn't until 3.5 years later that somebody would step up and help me get out of the life of trafficking. And so a lot of times when we hear about trafficking, we think once a victim gets out of these harsh conditions that everything's okay now, not understanding that their healing journey is equally as trauma that the victims face. And so I started my healing journey about what had happened to me, trying to get therapy, going to school to get some education. And that was a long process. It would take me an extremely long time to get to the place that I am today. But I was equally challenged and faced with an obstacle of I could choose to hide behind what had happened to me, to never share it, to live a life where nobody knew. And that wasn't, I feel like God was calling me to something greater. I had a story and I wanted to share it. And so my first step was to work with one of the major universities and develop a curriculum going into the high schools and middle schools and educating the youth on what human trafficking was. Because stats tell us that the average age into the life of trafficking is 12 to 14 years old. And for me, that meant that that was the exact place that I needed to get to in order to create prevention. But I also wanted to work with survivors, people who had come through similar stories like I had, similar trauma, and in a space that a lot of people never believed they'd overcome it. And so I've had the unique opportunity to work at Generate Hope. And Generate Hope is a long-term residential program for survivors of trafficking. Survivors get the opportunity to come to our program and stay there for 2.5 years, where we give them holistic healing, housing, therapy, anything that they need to help them reintegrate back into society successfully. Another part of that is I wanted to work with law enforcement. I wanted to understand, how did we get to a place that we were actually charging victims with the solicitation with the intent of prostitution, where victims were getting charged for being trafficked. And so now I have the opportunity to work with our task force to educate law enforcement, educate our communities on what it is. And what I've learned through my process of my own journey is that no matter what trauma any of us has faced, and most of us have suffered some type of trauma, is that we're not our trauma. we're never what happened to us, and that we do have the ability to not only heal from what happened, but to overcome and do something with it. And so I have the unique opportunity to live my life out in my calling, serving other survivors and bringing education to this harsh reality of trafficking that actually impacts every city in our nation. And so being able to sit in a space where I am just really deeply honored with this HerStory Award, it just really means a lot. It's so confirming to have people not only hear what you're doing, but make you feel seen and validated that I'm on the right path. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I'm thankful for this community and my partnerships that I've been able to make, and for Caroline for her just walking with me in this and just celebrating me along the way. So I'm deeply honored for this opportunity today.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Keelan, for sharing that. You're such a, I feel like I share what everyone is feeling who's just heard from you, that you're such an amazing testament of healing and resilience. And this is exactly what the Her Story Award is all about, to not just look at the work, but also the story behind the work and how you used what you learned in your life to help improve other people's lives and make a change and a difference. It's so inspiring and amazing what you're doing. So I will present this award to you virtually. This is the Her Story Award, proudly presented to Keelan Washington on this day, November 9th, 2024, in recognition of your remarkable courage, dedication, and advocacy in the fight against human sex trafficking. Your voice as a survivor and leader has inspired change, brought hope, and empowered communities. We honor you as a peace leader who lives by the logic of love. Thank you so much, Keelan, and congratulations. And you're amazing. So, yes.
Thank you.
Waiting for Adia to come back.
I'm here. Okay. Thank you once again, Keelan, for sharing your story and your amazing journey. That takes so much courage, and everything that you're doing in this realm of human trafficking awareness and prevention and intervention rehabilitation is so needed. And so we are just honored once again to have you be awarded with the Her Story Award, and we wish you much great, amazing blessings on your journey in this realm of being an advocate for human trafficking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more incredible woman that I want to introduce you to, who will be receiving the Her Story Award. It is Senator Maggie Wallace Glover, who is a trailblazing figure in South Carolina politics, celebrated for achieving numerous firsts as an African-American woman in public office. Beginning her political career in 1983, she became the first African-American woman elected to the Florence District 1 school board. She continued making history in 1988 as the first African-American woman elected from the 6th Congressional District to the South Carolina House of Representatives. In 1992, Senator Glover ran unopposed for a seat in the South Carolina Senate, where she served as the first African-American woman senator from 1993 until 2004. Throughout her 17 years in the General Assembly, Senator Glover championed issues affecting the poor, the elderly, women, and children. She played a significant role in creating impactful legislation, including the first proposal for I-73, establishing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a state holiday, and introducing South Carolina's Education Lottery, which funds scholarships and support for historically Black colleges and universities. Her service has been recognized with several honors, including the Order of the Palmetto, South Carolina's highest civilian award, and an honorary doctorate from Morris College. A Florence native, she holds degrees in English and education and is a lifelong member of Savannah Grove Baptist Church. Today, she enjoys time with her family, including her daughter and beloved grandson, late sister's children, and remains deeply connected to her community and faith. Before we bring up Senator Glover to this virtual stage, I want to first introduce Dr. Angelica Selly, who was the former president of Women's Federation for World Peace, to give a few words on Senator Glover.
Well, good evening. I'm not Dr. Angelica Selly. Yes. Good evening, Senator Maggie Wallace Clover. We have never met in person, right? So it's very unusual. You see, I am connected to a special GPS system in Detroit, the God Provides Surely system. And this system is always looking for amazing women leaders, inspiring women leaders like you. So one day, an angel-like lady came into the store where I work, your daughter Marissa, and here we are together. So you seem to live the motto of the co-founder of Women's Federation for World Peace, which says, with the heart of a parent in the shoes of a servant. We have such a privilege, it's such an honor to nominate you. You see, this GPS system, yes, the God Provides Surely system, gives this very high honor. So we appreciate you, we love you, we respect you, together with your ancestors who sacrificed, who offered blood, sweat, and tears. You know, I look pale, but I'm an African woman. I've lived in Africa 17 years, so I treasure the African ancestors. Senator Clover, together with your daughter Marissa, the whole family, the whole ancestors, I'm really very honored to nominate you. Congratulations for the HerStory Award. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It is such an amazing thing, particularly for such a time as this, to have this kind of honor. And as our doctor said, we have never met, but she met my daughter, and my daughter has told me all about you, all about this organization and what you are trying to do in this global atmosphere. And I am honored, but most importantly, humbled by your just picking this lady out of all of the amazing, hardworking sisters and other females, and for you to come to South Carolina, to Florence, and to find little old Maggie means so very much to all of you. I'd like to conclude my comments by sharing with you something that is very, very important to me. I want to share the lyrics of this song. She had silver gray hair, and it was always so very neatly combed in place. There were 4 generations of just sheer love in her face. She was so wise. For ladies and gentlemen, this lady had seen it all. Now, I was a child, about 4 or 5, and all day long I'd ask questions. At night, I'd ask more. But never, ever would this lady turn me away. I'd say, how can I be sure what's right and wrong? And why are we so poor? That's what I want to know. Where does God live? And why won't he talk to me? Will I find love? Won't you answer these questions for me before you fall off to sleep? Slowly she rocked, looking half asleep. But then that lady yawned, stretched, and started to speak. And what she told me that night would hold me and mold me together inside. She said, child, all the things you ask, you'll know someday, but you got to learn to live in a more patient way. Because you see, baby, by faith, God put us here, and by faith, there be's better days, and you can get to your better days if you just learn to make it through the night. You hear me, child? No matter what comes, you keep holding on to God's unchanging hands, and you can get to your better days, come what may. You just keep holding on to God's unchanging hands. At the turn of spring, heaven sent down angels and indeed gave Grandma her wings. And now that she's gliding and sliding and flying in her better days, I must admit that even though I'm all grown up now, every time night gets in my way, I can always hear that lady say, child, all the things you ask, you'll know someday, but you got to learn to live in a more patient way. Because you see, baby, by faith, God put us here. And by faith, there be's better days. And you can get to your better days if you just learn to make it through the night. You hear me, child? Come what may. You just keep holding on to God's unchanging hands, and you can get to your better days if you just learn, baby, to make it through the night, come what may. You just keep holding on to God's unchanging hands, and you will get to your better days. Ladies and gentlemen, Dinah Reeves' song, 1994. I share it with you on a night like this one, when, man, these precious sisters would take the time, their energy, to award Maggie Glover based on just what my daughter and what the information sent included in my bio. But just as Dinah Reeves' song has shared with us, I share it again on a night like tonight. I want each and every one of you, no matter what the situation is. And I heard all of the other women who are being honored tonight. And just as this darkness came into their lives because of this kind of passing on one generation to another, I want each of us to understand that we can and we must get through the night so that we can get to our better days, and we can share that process, share that same kind of energy with each and every person that we meet in this thing called life. If we do that, as so many of these women, those presenting and those being presented to, you've all, through these organizations, you're teaching, you're helping us all to know what Dinah Reeves taught us, that we all can get to our better days if we just learn to make it through the night and hold on to God's unchanging hands. We'll get there. Love you all, and thank you from the very bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much, Senator Glover. Thank you for your message. That was so inspiring. And I just love your personality. I feel like you have inspired so many around you. It's like a ripple effect going outward. And I feel like you've lived that, holding on to God's unchanging hand to make it through to better days. And in your long list of firsts that Adia read, it's like, oh, she did it, so we can too. We all meet those things that are difficult and hard, but we can all do it too. And so thank you so much. Let's bring up the award. Yes, thank you. If we could, great. So this is presented to you virtually. Of course, we're going to send a physical copy to everyone as well in the mail. This HerStory Award is proudly presented to Senator Maggie Wallace Glover on this day, November 9th, 2024. In recognition of your unwavering dedication to public service and historic achievements as a trailblazer in South Carolina, your leadership and advocacy have advanced civil rights, education, and social justice, profoundly impacting communities across the state. Your commitment to uplifting marginalized voices, championing educational equity, and promoting human dignity leaves an enduring legacy of hope and inspiration. We honor you as a peace leader who lives by the logic of love. Signed by myself and President Moffitt. So everyone, if you're at home, please give Senator Glover a round of applause. Write it in the chat, your congratulations. And thank you so much. And I turn it back to our MC. Take it away.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Senator Glover. Thank you, Katerina. I just want to highlight, so I had mentioned Dr. Sally. She wasn't able to come on, but I want to highlight, she just left a comment and she said, heartfelt congratulations, Senator Glover, for your profound words of wisdom and heart. You truly are an historic woman leader of our nation. We honor you. And yes, we do. Oh my goodness, the delivery of your message was so creative and beautiful and definitely inspiring, and sparked something, I think, deep inside of us. It resonated with me for sure. So I hope you enjoyed this program as much as I did, just emceeing it and introducing these four phenomenal women that are here working and impacting their community all across the nation. If you love what you have seen, what you have been witness to with the Women's Federation for World Peace, I invite you to dive deeper. Why don't you go ahead and visit our website? There is a news section that gives you all the recent updates of what our hubs are doing all across America. We are constantly having local events honoring people with HerStory Awards locally, virtually. And if you're interested to find out more, if you want to even become a member of this sisterhood, there is a QR code too that is popping up on your screen that you can take a screenshot of, and it'll send you straight to our membership landing page. But I invite you to explore a little bit more about Women's Federation for World Peace and Global Women's Peace Network. We have a lot of new and exciting things to offer coming into this new year, but I just want to highlight too that we just launched a podcast. It's called the HerStory podcast. You can listen to the first episode on our website. It will be there. It is with actually our president. We interviewed our president of Women's Federation for World Peace, Kayleigh Moffitt, talking about how family is so important and how actually being the mother, in her family, and how that really bleeds into her leadership role as the president of Women's Federation for World Peace. She talks about her journey. It's really an incredible first podcast episode. So I invite you to listen, to also subscribe, and to join us on this journey, because more amazing things are happening. So I also wanted to mention too that we have another special HerStory Award at the end of this month. It's on November 25th, 2024. So if you are around, please tune in for that HerStory Award. It is honoring Native women. So it will be, we'll be working in conjunction with Sacred First Nations for Peace, who have an amazing list of all these Native women leaders that we get to honor during this time. And so it will be a beautiful, special HerStory program as well. We hope that you can tune in for that. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for sharing this moment with us. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.